everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the dungeon. Today we are going to be focusing on just parts of animals, just appendages, legs, horns, wings, tails. So hopefully you know how to make the body. Now let's go ahead and work on different appendages. This is just to show you guys how I do certain pieces and parts for different animals. All right, well, I guess I just don't know what else to say other than I did make this video and it was about 45 minutes long and I hated every second of it. So this is a complete redo of that video, and it will be a little lengthy because I do talk this time while I'm actually at the torch. So it'll be kind of interesting, a little different. I usually don't do this method. Good luck to you guys, and thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on our next episode of In the Dungeon with Robin. Bye. So I'm going to start using, working off of these punty mandrels. which has that nice ridged effect there. I know somebody was asking about a ram's horn, like a curled horn. So I'm going to start by heating that last spot just a little bit behind the flame where I'm heating up my part of glass that I'm ready to lay down. Making a curl. You have to make the curl before the glass cools down. You only have one chance to do this. So get as much glass as you can hot. Then we're going to stick it. And I want to kind of pull one way. And then as I'm pulling, then I will start to do this funky twist. And then I twist until it completely cools down. And then I pull it out. Doing these twists, that's just a huge endeavor in itself, is just to learn how to do this circle. So I would advise, if you're interested in doing this, that you do this as many times as you can, so you understand how much time you have to make the twist before the glass completely cools down. Okay, so for this, why don't we just go ahead and make a little face. So I'm going to let that glass droop a little bit, but I'm also going to grab it with a slightly cool rod. See how I make that little face? Okay, with something like this, I'm letting it cool down, but not to the point of being so cool it will break. And I'm just hanging out right here, feeding a little bit of heat into the first area that we're going to have the horn. This will be a simple one, okay? Let's not get too complicated here. Start with the first horn. Give your glass time to cool down. Push, and then lift out. And give it a slight curl. Okay. This is almost a little too stiff. And then where I want the glass to go, I'll hold it down that way. Let's go ahead and add the secondary part. And again, you want this to be cooler than normal. Turn it over. Kind of a horn, but not really, it's backwards. So let's just gently, here's the hard part, is grazing the other side. Oh, okay. Well, he broke, okay, but look, we have one kind of decent, but not really, horn here. Let's just get a little crazy and add one more bit to it. Why not? Heat the bit up, cool the bit down, and when you're adding it to a thin stringer, you don't have to heat up that stringer. You just add it, and then you move it where you want it to go. Okay, well, there's something. Okay, well, let's give him a nose. All right, there's our horn, but not the best. This is something you really want to look at online and look at the way the horns go. My horns are always crooked or weird and dyslexic. All right, let's put this guy to the side. Let's do a few tails. Let's do some short ones real quick, and then I'll do a long one off the end. So if we're gonna make a bunny rabbit tail, and this is just a small bit, heat where you want it to be, and then you just push lift up. It really can't get any simpler than that. You can also have just that round tail, okay? This is kind of fun. If you add just a ball and you lift it up and you give it that swirl, just get it on center. It's all about gravity. And what if we just wanted to pull a little something off there? So that's slightly different. Now this one is going to be one of the longer tails. And I'm doing my best just to heat up the orange, just the smallest amount. All I want to do is see a little tiny bit of red in that orange color. No more than that or the whole thing will get too hot. For these long tails, I get a lot of glass hot. And then I let it cool down quite a bit because I'm not trying to pull a stringer, okay? I'm going to just add it. And I'm going to quickly, because it's feeling like taffy, I'm going to pull it out and then kind of, you know, move it however. I don't know. I just did that off the fly because things happen so fast. Every tail I do is different. But that's a cute tail. And add a little to it. Give that a little orange bit on the end. These back legs. That's what these are, back legs. You don't want to wait too long because this still has to be warm here in order for everything to work. I'm going to let it cool down a little bit. And then I'm going to push and then just kind of yank it out and up. And then you notice how I roll slightly going up like this. And I'm just going to keep taking that off until I have about, oops, I'm sorry about that, about what I need. And for this, I'm getting too close to the flame. That's why it's kind of want it to go up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to turn it around and just heat up what I need. And you want to make sure that you're doing it the same way as the other one, but opposite. So this one will be pushing. I think I pulled that one a little too quick. Actually, maybe not. I'm trying to add a little bit more. But what I'm doing here is just trying to, as much as I can, match the other side. And then from here, I will only heat these little thin points because those can accept the heat. I have a lot of glass here. I want to let it cool down, and as it's cooling down, I'll just gently heat up that point. And I'm going to just stick it right on there. And then it's a very gentle pull. And I like to do mine a little stylized. Let me get a little bit more heat here. And I look at all sides real quick before I take anything off. Okay, so that could be one leg. And if I want to, I can just heat this bottom and just push it a little closer. All right, now without touching any of this, let's do the other leg. And you have to find the right area just to heat up that point. You don't want to heat up anything else. So while you're getting this glass hot here, you're really just heating that little teeny tiny bit. Second leg always is difficult for me. Let's see if I can do it. Push on, and then I gently turn it over, okay? And what I want to do is kind of the same thing, but I also want to look at the back and make sure that everything looks, you know, fairly straight on two sides, because this isn't a one-sided thing. what if I wanted to put a tail here, but I'm afraid, okay? This might break, I don't know. I'm going to make my flame a little bit more tight, and I'm just barely, I'm not really, like, to me it doesn't even look like I'm touching the glass at all to the, what we would say, the tail attachment area, the orange. But if it's close enough to the heat, you can start to warm it up enough to where everything seems to work out okay. All right, so let's go ahead and and it's also there's a big matter of how you hold your mandrel too. I move my mandrel all over the place. I'm holding it in a lot of different positions. For a teddy bear though, I want his legs, his feet to kind of go up. It wants to have feet. Just heating up those tips. Not just one side, but two. It may take 1 or 2 times. And the nice part here is that you can add a little tiny bit of glass to these as well for your bear parts. So that's like bear legs. Okay, so this is slightly almost the same thing for the rabbit. Just push the 2 sides down. There is one difference here, and that difference I use a X-Acto blade for. So I'm just heating up that one side. I add my bit of glass here. Just wrap it up. Use gravity to place it where I want it while I'm heating up the other side. And then I just gently give that orange a graze of heat. Now I'm ready to add the other side. And then figure out where I want that to go. Okay. Now let's go back to this first one and heat bottom and the top. Like the bottom of the flame, the top of the flame, so you heat the whole thing. Okay. Oh. Okay, now we're going to do this to the other side. Bottom and the top. We're going to do it exactly like we did the other side. Just make sure that you have things as lined up as you can. That's fine. You're getting the idea that the leg goes up, down, and then out. Up, down, then out. That's a rabbit sitting on his little haunches. Now let's just heat the bottom of this. And I'm just going to let the glass kind of follow itself. Actually, I'll just try to put a water glass there. Woo! My glass is too hot. Now look at how long that leg got. Let it simmer down. Did I say it was all about gravity? What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to bulk it up a little bit. Now getting the heat back into this other side, be very gentle. Okay, everybody simmer down. Boink. Pull towards you. And I do kind of press down a little bit because I think that looks cute. And then what I'm going to do is just try to heat up what I need to with this. I do tool a little bit with the rabbit if I need to. Just trying to make sure everything is still visible. Don't think this one's going to make it. Or they need to heat all that blue together. Things could have been a little bit warmer on the leg side. This one came out real nice. I'm just gently grazing sides. It just seems like you can always get the heat back into something by just very gently grazing it and not putting it straight up in the heat all at once. Okay, so just different ways of working feet. Okay, getting things lined up using the mini mashers, or I can use my pair of tweezers here to get a little foot pattern going maybe. Let's see if we can put a tail on this. Okay, I'm just barely, I'm not even touching the flame. I'm as close to the flame as I can be without touching it. And while I'm doing that, I'm doing everything close together so I can see everything that I'm doing. My eyes are just going up and down to each piece. My tail's ready. There. And because we just added to it, can add a little bit more. And I get a little rabbit. This could be also the bottom of a squirrel too. Okay, butterfly wings or wings. So let's start out. I'm going to try to kind of flatten this out a little bit. There's a couple ways we could do this. Let me show you one way. One way is just by adding a very small amount of glass on two sides. Okay, and then let that go for a second. The other way would be to just add a large amount of glass, get a big wad going, and use your mashers. And then as soon as you are done mashing, heat both sides, and then gently pull where you need it to go. Okay. Now, these wings here, because we already have these little stumps ready, we could also add a little ball on top of that. Heat it, mash it, and then, I'm sorry, mash it, heat both sides, and then gently take your time and pull. Really take your time when you do those pulls. That could be a really beautiful ear as well. Now let's finish this side of the butterfly, and then we'll finish that. All I want to do is get this bottom part slightly warm. Nothing else. So I'm going to touch and do the wrap around here, and then watch yourself on that gravity, because immediately it'll start moving on you. Kind of get it under control and where you want it. in order to do your mash. Okay. And then as soon as the mash is done, it's a heat on one side, a heat on the other, and then just grab and gently pull. And you can give a little curve if you want. Or not. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do the other side. Okay, this is a weird one. Now I have to hold it this way just so I'm grazing the very tip top of that little tiny blue dot. Whew, man, I am shaky. Okay, and let's just drop the dot on top of that dot. Get over there. Let it calm down. Okay, use that gravity, just let it calm down. And then when you're ready, you mash it, keep both sides, and then very gently touch the end, and slowly make your pull. Could be another ear. I like that. Okay, if we want to on these butterfly wings, because it's so tiny and thin up here, you can add a little bit of fun flair just to the tips. You could do the same to all of these. Add a little extra. So there's a couple of interesting appendages as well. Okay, so here's the first one. It looks really good. It has the nice horns on there. Remember, every time you pull something out, it's like pulling a stringer out, but as you're pulling out the stringer, you're also, oh, here's our tail. You're also feeling the tension of it and doing your twists and things before it cools down, which is very quick. Here's our 3 different tails. I guess I'll have them this way. Now, what did we do after that? We did our little, I don't even know where the antlers went on that little guy. Oh, here they are. Here's some of the antlers. I think they may have gone, who knows, anyway. And then we did the bare legs. Okay, simple. A belly button would be nice. Okay. And the rabbit legs are different from the bare legs. It's all about that little angle right there that helps. And then of course we have our little deer legs. I think in cartoon. That's why my work is not perfectly anatomically correct. So, the butterfly actually looks really nice. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, the butterfly turned out great. Learning how to use those mini mashers in different ways. This is really nice. I really like this for like feelers, or they could be like perfect turtle legs. There's so many things that these could be other than a wing or an ear. You get what I'm saying.